Tomorrow's transformation, what Venus is about to reveal in 24 hours. Tomorrow, a subtle but powerful shift arrives. Venus slips into Aries, and for a single day, energy will favor the person who moves first. This isn't a fortune you must accept, or a fate you can't change. Think of it as a gentle wind at your back that rewards small, decisive motion. If you've felt stuck, if a quiet, nagging idea has hovered near your chest, or if you've been waiting for the right time that never feels right, this is the nudge you've been waiting for. For the next 24 hours, the atmosphere around attraction, connection, and personal desire tends to reward initiative. That means your first honest move tomorrow matters more than usual. Notice it, honor it, act on it. Imagine Venus as a quiet magnet, a presence that draws things closer to you, ideas, people, opportunities, while Aries is the spark, the impulse that points you forward. When that magnet and that spark meet, initiative becomes attractive. That combination seldom forces outcomes. Instead, it makes early motion ripple faster. It amplifies the effect of a sincere first step. This is not astrology as destiny. It's astrology as a weather report, conditions that tend to favor certain behaviors. And weather changes. You still pack your umbrella or choose not to. The choice is yours. But if you want to ride this period for momentum, the rule is simple. Do the small, earnest thing your instincts point to tomorrow, and let motion carry the rest. If this is landing with you right now, comment below one instinct you'll follow tomorrow, the single tiny action you'll take when the moment comes. Type it now so your mind commits. Then keep listening, because I'll show you how to choose the smallest, safest moves that tend to unlock disproportionate momentum. Why does acting on the first instinct matter in this 24-hour window? Think of first instinct as your compass, not as a blind leap. The first flash of desire is often the clearest expression of what feels necessary. A message you've been drafting in your head for weeks, a prototype idea you imagine in fragments, a yes you hesitate to give. Venus in Aries tends to make that flash visible, and it favors immediate follow-through. When you act quickly on a sincere impulse, you avoid the two traps that kill momentum: over-polishing and second-guessing. Over-polishing delays and dilutes, second-guessing turns energy inward until the spark is gone. This transit doesn't punish hesitation. It simply increases the returns for those who strike while the iron's warm. A useful image. Imagine dropping a pebble in a still pond. A small, honest pebble creates rings that reach farther than a heavy rock thrown half-heartedly. Tomorrow, the world is more responsive to pebbles thrown with intention. The energy isn't about scale, it's about clarity and speed. That means you don't need a perfected plan. You need a sincere move you can take now, something that signals commitment and invites response. It could be a single line of text, a 5-minute recording, a sketch, a brief yes to an invitation. Those tiny moves are what the transit tends to magnify. Ask yourself what keeps you waiting. Often it's the imagined perfect result, the fear of showing something unfinished, the worry you'll be judged. Those fears are normal, but in this 24-hour window they become the very resistance that robs you of momentum. Overthinking is the slow leak that drains potential. If you want to break that leak tomorrow, choose one thing that demands less perfection and more honesty. Set a timer for 5 minutes and draft the message. Open a blank document and write a 1-paragraph plan. Say yes to the coffee invite you've been postponing. The faster you move on that first instinct, the more the day's energy helps carry your action forward. So what are safe, practical actions that tend to produce the ripple effect? Start small and strategic. Send one message you've been avoiding, maybe a short text to reconnect, a single line to a potential collaborator, a concise pitch to someone you admire. Keep it specific, brief, and from your real place. You don't have to explain your whole life. You just need to open a conversation. Begin a 10-minute prototype of a project. Set a box of time and create something rudimentary that shows direction. Accept a low-stakes yes, a short call, a casual meeting, a walk with someone who might become a resource. Say one authentic yes that aligns with what you want. Each of these simple moves can open doors you hadn't expected because movement invites response. Consider a few hypothetical moments that show how small steps can cascade. Imagine Elena, who'd been rehearsing a business idea for months but never sent the email to a potential mentor. Tomorrow, she drafts a single paragraph explaining the idea and asks one question. That short note leads to a 10-minute call, which changes the shape of her plan and opens a practical next step. Or picture Marcus, who's been holding back from telling a friend he admires their skill. He sends a concise message acknowledging the admiration and suggesting a coffee. That coffee becomes a collaboration that seeds new work. Or think of Jenna, who tests a new recipe idea by posting one photo and a short caption. A customer notices and asks about buying more. None of these are guaranteed outcomes, but each story shows how a small, honest move can trigger a sequence you didn't see when everything stayed inside your head. Watch for the signs tomorrow that the moment is right. You might feel a sudden clarity about what to say or do, an urge that's more like a pull than a panic. You may notice a door that's been ajar suddenly wider, an easy invitation, a message that arrives at the right time, a clear opportunity to try something new. Those are the moments when initiative pays. Don't mistake a quiet reassurance for certainty. Momentum still requires follow-through. The point is to match the energy. When clarity comes, respond with a small, proportionate action. It's not about grand gestures. It's about aligning your movement with the day's responsiveness. Between those signals and your action is the tiny war with your own mind. Overthinking sounds reasonable. Check one more time, rewrite that line, wait for a better time. But that mental rehearsal rarely produces the breakthrough. It often produces delay. Here's a practical trick to outsmart it. Decide tonight on one very small, concrete action you will take tomorrow the moment you feel that first impulse. Make the action so simple that it removes friction. When I feel the nudge tomorrow, I will send this one-line message, or I'll open my notes and write one paragraph in 5 minutes. Lower the barrier so that movement becomes almost automatic. Commit to the proportionate act, then follow through. The transit tends to reward that kind of immediate, honest motion. At the same time, courage is practical, not reckless. This is an essential balance to hold. Acting quickly does not mean ignoring safety, ethics, or responsibilities. It means choosing actions that are bold within reason. If your first instinct is to quit a job without a plan, translate the courage into a safer, catalytic move. Update your resume, contact 3 people in your field, apply for one role, or draft a clear list of possibilities. If your impulse is to confront someone in anger, pause and choose a constructive first step. Write what you need to say privately first, or suggest a calm conversation. Integrity matters. Momentum without care can create regrettable results. The invitation here is to brave, honest movement that respects boundaries and weighs risks intelligently. If you fear regret, remember that the ache of inaction often lingers longer than the sting of a misstep. Regret for not trying is a slow-burning thing. When you look back, the what-ifs of unsent messages and unstarted projects weigh heavy. In contrast, a small, sincere action, even if it leads to an imperfect result, usually teaches you something useful and frees you to iterate. The transit tomorrow increases the potential return on those small moves. It won't promise success, but it can clear the path to useful outcomes faster than habitually waiting for perfect conditions. To help you channel this, here are concrete micro-actions across everyday life that you can prepare tonight and take tomorrow when the nudge arrives. In relationships, send a brief, honest message. I've been thinking about you. Are you free for coffee? In work, pitch one idea in a 2-sentence email. I'd like to propose a small experiment to test X. Can I try this for 2 weeks? In creativity, create a 5-minute prototype, record a short voice memo, sketch a quick layout, or post a single photo with a caption that names your intention. In personal growth, try a micro-commitment. Do one 10-minute workout, meditate for 5 minutes, open a journal, and write 1 paragraph about what you want next. In finance or career exploration, take 1 research step. Email someone in a role you admire, or schedule 1 informational call. These actions are small enough to be safe, but purposeful enough to invite response. If you want more structure, use the 1-minute rule to overcome friction. If a task can be started in 1 minute, start it immediately. For tomorrow, choose the 1-minute entry that aligns with your instinct. Open your email, write the subject line, record the first sentence. Momentum often begins with a tiny act that creates the psychological motion to continue. Pair that with a short time box. Give yourself 5 to 15 minutes to complete the micro-action. The combination of 1-minute entry and a short time box is an antidote to overthinking and a practical way to take advantage of the day's favorable energy. There will be moments when hesitation feels like prudence. Distinguish between sensible caution and circular doubt. Sensible caution checks harm and logistics. Is contacting this person appropriate at this hour? Does this idea respect others' boundaries? Circular doubt rewrites scenarios endlessly without new information. Use the 2-question test. Does this action cause harm or violate clear boundaries? If yes, rethink it. If no, and if it's proportionate, then the next best move is usually to act. This transit tends to reward actions that are honest and proportionate, not reckless gambles. Rest is part of readiness. Don't read this as pressure to be frenzied tomorrow. Part of moving well is being rested enough to recognize your true impulses. If you're tired tonight, prioritize sleep. Rest calibrates your instinct. It filters noise from signal. There's a line to remember. Rest today, rise stronger tomorrow. Use tonight to clear trivial tasks, set an intention, and prepare the single micro-action you'll take when the nudge comes. Prepare the words you might send, the 5-minute prototype you'll open, the tentatively phrased yes you'll give. When the moment arrives, you'll be more likely to respond cleanly if the path is already simplified. Throughout the day tomorrow, stay lightly attentive rather than anxious. Keep your phone on hand, but don't obsess. Notice the first internal tug, the opening line of a message, the image that pulls you to create, the invitation that looks like a small yes. That first tug is rarely the whole plan. It's the starting point. Treat it as a prompt and make a proportionate move that feels honest. If the action feels big, break it down further. If it feels risky, scale it to a safe experiment. The goal is motion, not perfection. You may wonder, what if I act and nothing happens? That is possible and not the end. Small actions sometimes land softly, but even soft landings teach you something. They reveal the next step, give you feedback, and reduce the weight of what could have been. Momentum is cumulative. One small, honest move tomorrow can shift your trajectory by making the next move clearer and easier. Over time, those ripples combine into meaningful change. Hold these practical cues close. Clarity over perfection, speed over endless polishing, proportion over spectacle, rest over frantic forcing. Let tomorrow be a single, focused experiment. Identify one instinct tonight. Make the action so small it's impossible to avoid, and commit to following through when the nudge comes. That sequence, decide, prepare, act, takes inertia out of the equation and gives the day its chance to work in your favor. Now for a few more tangible examples to spark your own ideas. If you've been hesitating to ask for help, send one specific request that includes a clear, tiny next step for the other person. Can you spare 10 minutes next week to look at this draft? If you're holding back from a creative debut, post a single sample with a sentence about why you made it. If you're unsure about a relationship conversation, Write a first draft of what you might say, and then choose the safest first act, a message asking to talk, or a calm note expressing your care. If career uncertainty paralyzes you, pick one person to contact who represents the path you want. Ask for a short informational call, not a job. If your health goal feels distant, agree to a 5-minute walk tomorrow morning. These moves are tiny thresholds that lead to new information and new possibilities. A quick guide to choosing the one action you'll commit to. First, make sure it aligns with a real desire, not a fleeting distraction. Second, ensure it is proportional. Big enough to matter, small enough to do quickly. Third, add a time boundary, 5 or 15 minutes. Fourth, script the first line, sentence, or subject so you avoid the blank screen freeze. Finally, decide right now where you'll take that step tomorrow, at a cafe, at your desk after lunch. The clearer the plan, the likelier you'll move when the nudge comes. As you prepare, remember the wider principle. Astrology here is a mirror for behavior. Venus entering Aries tends to make the first move more attractive and visible. That's the influence. It favors initiative, not guarantees. The rest is up to you. How you choose to respond, what you're willing to risk in small, sane ways, and how much you allow rest to sharpen your instincts. If you treat tomorrow as an experiment of one small, courageous act, you'll either open a door or learn something essential. Either outcome is forward motion. Now take a breath and pick your single, small act. Write it down in one sentence. Keep it honest. Keep it small. Remember your commitment. When the first instinct appears tomorrow, act quickly and safely. After you do it, notice the ripple. Pay attention to any new clarity, response, or next step that emerges. Momentum likes company. Your first step tends to attract the next. If this message is speaking to you, remember to comment now with the one instinct you'll follow tomorrow. Just a word or a short line. Make that public to yourself. It increases the chance you'll actually do it. Later, after you act, come back and tell us what happened. Your small move might encourage someone else. Tomorrow's 24-hour window is an invitation, not a verdict. It's the day when initiative tends to be rewarded with disproportionate movement. It's a day that supports honest, swift, proportionate courage. So choose one tiny action tonight, rest well, and be ready to follow your first honest impulse tomorrow. Move with clarity, avoid perfectionism, respect boundaries, and let the day's energy help carry your motion forward. If this resonated, like and subscribe for more short, practical astrological guidance, and share this with someone who could use a gentle nudge. Comment the single instinct you'll act on tomorrow, one sentence, one line. Then go prepare, rest tonight, rise tomorrow, ready to move. Let momentum meet your courage, and let small, sincere action reveal what's next.